Dear soul, if you found this message now, know that it wasn't by chance. The angels brought you here because there's something crucial that will save you from heartbreak, exhaustion, and endless disappointment. Something about the people in your life. Something about where you've placed them. Something about expectations that are draining your spirit. Allow yourself to listen carefully. Allow yourself to feel the wisdom in these words, because what's about to be revealed will protect your peace and transform your relationships forever. The angels want to speak with you today about a truth that will set you free. Accept people as they are, but put them in the place they deserve to be. Not where you wish they were, not where you hope they'll grow into, not where you need them to be, where they actually are, quite where they've shown you they belong. If this message has already touched your heart, write "I receive" in the comments. Here's what's been happening. You've been disappointed over and over again by the same people. The selfish person keeps being selfish. The absent person remains absent. The unreliable person continues to let you down. And every time you're shocked, every time you're hurt, every time you wonder why they can't just be different. But here's what the angels want you to understand. You're not disappointed because they're failing you. You're disappointed because you've placed them somewhere in your life that they can't occupy. You've given the selfish person a place that requires generosity. You've given the absent person a place that requires presence. Or you've given the unreliable person a place that requires dependability. And then you're confused when they can't fill that space. But the angels say they've been showing you exactly who they are all along. You just haven't been accepting it. The selfish person has always been selfish. Expecting them to suddenly become grateful, generous, and giving is exhausting yourself for nothing. The absent person has always been absent, fighting to make them present, to make them show up, to make them prioritize you. It's a battle you'll never win. If this message is bringing clarity to your heart, like this video, so this wisdom can reach other souls who need to hear this, the angels show that you keep trying to change people. You keep thinking that if you love them enough, if you're patient enough, if you explain yourself clearly enough, they'll transform. But here's the hard truth. People don't change because you need them to. They change when they decide to, and most of the time, they won't. The selfish person will always be selfish. They might have moments of generosity, but their default setting is self-focus. That's who they are. The unreliable person will always be unreliable. They might show up occasionally, but consistency isn't in their nature. That's who they are. The critical person will always find fault. The gossip will always talk about others. The taker will always take. And you know what? That's okay. They're allowed to be who they are, but you're allowed to accept that truth and adjust where you place them in your life accordingly. Your angel speaks directly to you now with this warning. Listen carefully. There are people who are excellent for having a coffee with, perfect for casual conversation, great for light-hearted chats, but they're terrible for sharing your dreams with, awful for trusting with your heart, disastrous for relying on in a crisis. Stop putting these people on the wrong shelf in your life. If you wish to receive messages like this more often, subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message today, share it with them. Think of your life as a home with different rooms. Not everyone gets access to every room. Some people belong in the living room, where you have pleasant, surface-level interactions. They're acquaintances, they're casual friends, and that's perfectly fine. Some people belong in the dining room, where you share meals and meaningful conversations. They're closer friends. You enjoy their company. You trust them to a degree, but not everyone belongs in your bedroom. The intimate space where you share your vulnerabilities, your dreams, your deepest truths, and certainly not everyone belongs in your treasury. The sacred space where you keep your most precious hopes, fears, and aspirations. The disappointment you keep experiencing comes from giving people access to rooms they can't honor. You're sharing your dreams with someone who should only be in the living room. You're trusting your heart to someone who should only be in the hallway. And then you're devastated when they treat your treasures carelessly. But it's not entirely their fault. They didn't ask to be in that room. You put them there. You gave them access they never earned. The angels want you to understand something profound. Accepting people as they are doesn't mean tolerating everything. It doesn't mean letting them hurt you. It doesn't mean having no boundaries. It means seeing clearly who they are and placing them appropriately in your life. The selfish friend? Accept that they're selfish. Enjoy their company in light doses. But don't expect them to be there when you need support. Don't share your struggles with them. Don't depend on them. The gossip? Accept that they love drama. Have surface conversations with them, but never tell them anything private. Never trust them with sensitive information. The unreliable person? Accept that they won't show up consistently. Don't make them your emergency contact. Don't plan important things around them. Don't give them responsibilities they'll drop. You can still have these people in your life, but you put them on the shelf they belong on, not higher. Not in a place that sets you up for disappointment. This isn't being judgmental. This isn't being unforgiving. This is being wise. This is being protective of your peace. The angels show that so much of your exhaustion comes from trying to force people into roles they're not meant to play. You're exhausting yourself trying to make the selfish person grateful. Stop. They won't be. Accept it. And adjust your expectations. You're exhausting yourself trying to make the absent person present. Stop. They won't be. Accept it and stop waiting for them. You're exhausting yourself trying to make the critical person encouraging. Stop. They won't be. Accept it and stop seeking their approval. When you finally accept people as they are and place them where they belong, something magical happens. You stop being disappointed. You stop being angry. You stop being hurt because you're no longer expecting them to be something they're not. The selfish person's selfishness doesn't surprise you anymore. The absent person's absence doesn't wound you. The critical person's criticism doesn't shake you because you've placed them in the appropriate part of your life. You've given them only the access they've proven they can handle. Your angel warns, be very careful about the access you give people to your life. Not everyone deserves a key to your heart. Not everyone has earned the right to influence your decisions. Not everyone should know your dreams. Guard your inner circle fiercely. Let very few people into the treasury of your soul. The disappointment you keep experiencing isn't random. It's happening because you're expecting people to deliver what they have never been capable of giving. Now, let's talk about how to actually do this. How do you accept people as they are whilst protecting yourself? First, observe, don't project. See people as they actually are, not as you hope they'll become. If someone has been unreliable 10 times, they're an unreliable person. Don't tell yourself, maybe next time will be different. It won't be. Accept the pattern. If someone has been selfish in every situation, they're a selfish person. Don't convince yourself they'll be generous when you really need them. They won't be. Accept the truth. Second, adjust your expectations to match reality. This is where your peace lives. If you know someone is a casual friend, don't expect best friend behavior. If you know someone is surface level, don't share deep truths with them. Match your expectations to what they've consistently shown you they are. Third, create and maintain clear boundaries. Just because you accept someone as they are doesn't mean you allow them unlimited access. I love you, but I can't rely on you for important things. I enjoy your company, but I won't share my personal life with you. You're fun to chat with, but you're not in my inner circle. These boundaries aren't mean. They're healthy. They're necessary. Fourth, stop trying to change people. You can't love someone into being different. You can't sacrifice enough to make them grow. You can't be patient enough to make them transform. They'll change if and when they decide to. Your job isn't to fix them. Your job is to protect your peace whilst accepting them as they are. Fifth, be grateful for what people can offer, even if it's not everything you wish they could be. The person who's great for coffee, but terrible for deep conversations, be grateful for the enjoyable coffee chats. Just don't expect more. The person who's fun but unreliable, enjoy the fun moments. Just don't depend on them for serious things. The angels want to address something important. What if the person who needs to be on a different shelf is family, or a long-time friend, or a partner? This is where it gets difficult. But the truth remains the same. Even with people you love, even with people you have history with, you still need to place them where they actually belong, not where you wish they belonged. A parent who's been critical your whole life, accept that they're critical. Love them if you choose to, but stop seeking their approval. Stop sharing your dreams with them expecting encouragement. A sibling who's been selfish forever, accept their selfishness. Have family dinners, but don't rely on them in a crisis. Don't expect them to support you emotionally. A friend from childhood who's grown into someone unreliable, accept the change. Enjoy the memories, but don't give them the same access to your current life that they had 20 years ago. Even a partner. If they've shown you they're emotionally unavailable, accept it. Then decide, can you live with someone on that shelf? Or do you need someone who can be in the treasury? These aren't easy decisions, but they're necessary for your well-being. The angels show that when you finally put people on the appropriate shelves, your life becomes so much lighter. You're no longer carrying the weight of disappointment. You're no longer exhausted from trying to change people. You're no longer hurt by the same patterns repeating. You have peace. You have clarity. You have protected boundaries. And interestingly, sometimes when you stop expecting people to be different, when you stop pushing them to change, they actually start to respect you more. Because you've stopped being a victim to their behavior. You've stopped reacting. You've simply accepted and adjusted. But even if they don't change, even if they never grow, you're okay. Because you've placed them where they belong, and you've filled your inner circle with people who actually deserve to be there. Dear soul, if you've stayed until here, know that this confirms everything. So your heart recognized this message as true. Your soul resonated with every word, and this is no coincidence. The angels are giving you permission to protect yourself, to be wise, to accept people as they are, and place them appropriately in your life. Always remember, accepting people as they are is wisdom, but giving them access they haven't earned is foolishness. The selfish will be selfish. The absent will be absent. The critical will be critical. Accept it. Stop fighting it. Stop exhausting yourself trying to change it. And most importantly, put them on the shelf where they belong, not higher, not in a place that sets you up for disappointment. Guard your inner circle. Protect your treasury. Be careful who gets access to your dreams, your heart, your deepest self. Not everyone deserves a key. Not everyone has earned the right. And that's not being cold. That's being wise. That's being protective of the precious gift that is your peace. May the clarity that touched your heart now guide your decisions. May you see people as they truly are. And may you have the wisdom and courage to place them where they belong. Thank you for being here. You are loved, you are guided, and you deserve to protect your peace.